She's responded to you how many times? And how many times has she responded to you? How many times has she responded to you? And you didn't respond for 6 hours.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Started a gang in town.
What?
Get on their trucks.
What was your gang name?
Always Thuggin' Crew.
I'm Prison Mike.
Awesome! Seeking Sister Wife Season 5 has come to an end, and when I watched the last 2 episodes, episode 12 and 13, I could not believe that it was even possible to be more repulsed by Garrick than I already was, but these episodes did it. They pushed my ick even further, and they also exposed a lot more of Garrick's true personality than I expected them to, especially when Garrick interacts with a new potential sister wife, Miriam. Something that I think everyone has noticed about Garrick is that when he's talking on the show and wants to make himself sound important, like his goal of banging all the women for Jesus, that he has this slow, quiet way of talking. It's like he brings his voice down, and you kind of have to lean in a little bit to hear him. It's like he's trying to slowly land his words on a soft pillow. And it's almost distracting enough that you have to remind yourself that what he's saying softly is not profound. It's not important. It's just dumb. And the goal of his word salads is just to justify his bizarre and gross choices. You also see him get very emotional at times, like when Natalia had her friends over for that party, and he just got so sensitive because the sister wives weren't getting along. And yet he does not cry during his miraculously conceived baby's ultrasound. The thing is, I don't have a problem with men crying or getting emotional at all. It's because of when he chooses to cry, get emotional, or use his calm voice. To me, it's the times he chooses to do it that makes me feel like this is a manipulation tactic. I mean, I am no psychologist. I would love to hear a psychologist's opinion on this, especially the last 2 episodes, because it just doesn't feel genuine when he does these things. And a clip I played in a previous video about Garrick and Danielle, I think confirms this, because he isn't just calm all of the time like he wants people to believe. But in this video, Garrick shows that he has real heightened emotions during an argument with Danielle.
She's responded to you how many times? And how many times has she responded to you? How many times has she responded to you? And you didn't respond for 6 hours.
And when he's truly upset, he does not stay quiet. When he's actually angry, that soft, calm demeanor drops. To me, seeing that in this clip was interesting. And I also noticed that Danielle in this video does not seem shocked by this anger. She doesn't back down or act like he's acting out of character. I think that was the first time we got a small peek into how he really is. But I kind of thought that would be it. We would only see small glimpses of Garrick's true self, because he hides behind that calm persona most of the time. But then when Garrick and Danielle meet Miriam in the next 2 episodes, we actually end up seeing even more of Garrick's true personality than I expected to. And it's even worse than I imagined it would be. So in episode 12, Miriam comes from Michigan for a visit after talking to Danielle online.
She's Muslim. She's from a Muslim family, so she's familiar with plural lifestyle. Her mother had a sister wife.
They had been talking to her back and forth for a few weeks, and they're trying to figure out if she's just a friend or a potential sister wife. And this is all going on while Natalia is still in Brazil, and they're still sorting out the K-1 visa process for her. And of course, Danielle is still surprise pregnant. So this sounds like a terrible time to pursue a new potential sister wife, right? Danielle will have a baby in a few months. Maybe focus on that? And Natalia is not happy about them dating someone else when she's still in Brazil anyways. Something surprised me though. When Miriam arrives, it's obvious that her focus is immediately more on Danielle than Garrick, which of course Danielle is a fan of. Natalia was not that way. But when it comes to Miriam getting to know Garrick, they don't seem to be vibing much at all. Things like Miriam being Muslim make Garrick question if she can be a sister wife.
We definitely want to be on the same page spiritually, religion-wise. But overall, we don't really know anything about Islam.
What religion is it that you follow, Garrick? Let's be real. He's just worried about if her religion will get in the way of his smash and grab wife scheme. But something that does definitely get in the way is that we find out that Miriam wants to take things slowly.
It's like a big thing to me that I don't feel pressured, you know what I mean? And yeah. Garrick doesn't come on to me like, sexually.
Oh, honey, you're in the wrong place. I found it very interesting that Danielle feels this great chemistry with Miriam. They laugh. They get along. Danielle admits that she's desperate for a companion. And I mean, at this point, let's just let Danielle have her own sister wife and make Garrick the brother husband in this case.
I love when you say that, I got you. You say it like, yeah.
This friendship's very special with Miriam.
Apparently, Danielle really needs a friend. But even though this date seems to go very well, Danielle does not warn Garrick that Miriam wants to take things slowly. Because once Miriam is with Garrick, that happy, fun chemistry she had with Danielle turns into uncomfortable, awkward energy with Garrick. You know, maybe Danielle did tell him she wanted to take things slowly, but he's just so icky that he didn't listen. Miriam goes from outgoing to quiet and giving many signals in her body language that she just does not want to be touched. That cannot be a more obvious signal to back off, physically moving away. It's like she keeps having to peel off a leech.
I want him to get to know me more on a deeper personal conversations.
So at some point, he seems to catch on, so he changes his approach. He doesn't seem interested in asking her a whole bunch of questions to get to know her. He just tries to say that he can help her with her fashion line.
So my dream is to design women's clothing. Mm-hmm. He might be my fashion model.
This must be his move, right? He offers a woman some kind of help to get what he wants.
So we could team up on that, huh?
His brother-in-law, we've heard him say over and over that he's hoping that Garrick isn't giving the new potential sister wives money. So that must be what he does, his go-to. He tries to use the money to impress them, saying he'll help them with something like starting a fashion line or fulfill some sort of financial need that they have. That's how he hooks them, and then he reels them in by saying whatever he can to keep them interested. Like with Natalia, he was definitely giving her money. And I think he told her he wasn't looking for otherwise because that's what she wanted to hear. But in this case, he has no hook because I don't get the vibe that she's interested in his money. And she's confident in her own faith. So I think that he panics and doesn't know what to say. So he says this.
I didn't love God or live for God when I was younger. Started a gang in town.
What?
At first I was like, there's no way this guy started a gang called the Always Thuggin' Crew. Crew is spelled with a K, by the way. But then I thought to myself, this guy wants to be a leader in general. That seems to be the goal. He wants to control a group of people, whether it's people in a gang or sister wives or a cult. So I kind of believe it. But I also believe that it was just him and some friends acting like idiots around the small town of Buena Vista. I mean, it has a population of less than 3,000 people. I doubt that there was a whole lot of trouble they caused. But anyways, I think he jumped into this whole gang story and is uncomfortable because Miriam is actually questioning him. And this whole thing just becomes more and more awkward, especially when he pretty much tells her what to wear.
How would you feel if I was to put the hijab on, the scarf?
Hijab?
Really?
Let me try to pull it off. Like, where are you at here?
He doesn't want her to wear a hijab. He also seems to completely ignore her when she says that she does not want to live in Buena Vista. He's not listening to her. He doesn't care about what she has to say. He just wants to sleep with her. That's who he truly is. That's all he wants. And when she says she wants to go slow and steady, he looks like he wants to throw up.
Slow and steady.
Yeah, it's okay.
She doesn't seem interested at all in moving forward with Garrick. And Garrick failed to get a proposal and get her to bang for Jesus before she heads home. So Danielle, good job. I think you did it again on bringing in a third wife to sabotage the second wife. It's Roberta all over again. Because Natalia learning that Miriam came out to Colorado to visit, even though the visit seemed like it didn't go great, sparks a huge fight.
I'm just praying God works all this out because I really love her.
And yet, Danielle, I do not see a single real tear coming out of your eyes. So the producers get a video from Natalia explaining what was going on, and she pretty much says that Garrick promised her that they wouldn't date anyone else until she was at least living with them in the US. And then says this.
Além disso, o Garrick passou a me exigir uma submissão total a ele. Fato que eu não concordo.
That's the part I'm more interested in. Total submission. I wish she would have elaborated a little more on that. Does she mean that he just wanted her to agree with him and do what he wants? It sounds like he got angry and Natalia saw how he really is and then ran away. Doesn't it?
Big Ed has a poem for you. Roses are red, violets are blue. Subscribe to the Kiblz channel.
You're my best view.
So in the span of 2 episodes, we witness Garrick risk his relationship with Natalia over a potential sister wife that doesn't even like him. And that risk was all for nothing. We find out that Natalia officially broke up with Garrick and Danielle, and she's gone. And Garrick in the interview seems completely fine about it. I mean, he did already sleep with Natalia. I guess that's what he wanted, so he's already over it. We also find out at the end of the episode that they also stopped dating Miriam. So again, all for nothing. He lost wife number 2 again and did not get a third wife. And they are again dating another woman from Brazil. So don't you think it's just like before? Leave a comment below if you agree or disagree. If Garrick could just slow down and keep it in his pants, he could have maybe had a few wives by now. But instead, they just keep rushing things. And this time, it was literally for no reason. Miriam did not even seem to like Garrick. But I think now we're seeing more of his true colors, and he's not hiding it as well. Garrick is fake. Garrick does not care about what his potential wives or Danielle think. And at this point, he's just going to keep sleeping with women all over Brazil and proposing to them. But I have this feeling now that somehow something will always happen where things don't work out, and then he just moves on to the next woman. And on the update, we did find out that they did have their baby, but then heard in the same sentence that Garrick was dating another woman from Brazil. So I don't think that his mission is over. The baby didn't stop any of that. I think it's just beginning. In a live they posted, they brought on the baby, and we find out that the baby's almost a year old. I'm not going to show the baby. You can go watch the live on their Instagram if you want to. But they talk about how they are selling their house in Buena Vista, Colorado. So where would they be moving to, you ask? A lot of people are speculating that they're gonna move to Brazil. And that would make sense. I think when Garrick did stay with Natalia there, that he did not want to come back. Which doesn't that seem insane? They have a baby now. So that means that they are going to move their 2 sons and baby daughter out to Brazil, leave Colorado behind. All for what? To continue Garrick's gross conquest in Brazil, to find as many sister wives as he can. That just sounds crazy. He's gonna move everyone over there to continue this. Yikes. I'm sure that they will release more about their move once we see it on the show on the next season. But wow, this guy. We see you, Garrick. We know you're creepy and gross. You might as well act like yourself and stop pretending like you're this calm, godly guy. Again, let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!